The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Welcome back, Raider Nation. Unfortunately, my other half couldn't be here today. Rashawn is in London. But nonetheless, we got some big news just breaking. Andre James, our center, has agreed to re-sign with the team before free agency starts. So we're going to have our center back for the foreseeable future. Now the contract details haven't been out yet. It just says that he's re-signed. So we got to see what he actually signed for in terms of the money. But I regardless of the money, I think it's a great move. And I know it's going to be a controversial opinion because a lot of the fans and a lot of the media have said that Andre James um, has been underperforming, but I disagree. And there's a few reasons why. So if you look at, he's a 3-year starter for us. Obviously, he sat behind Rodney Hudson for the first 2 years of his career after being undrafted out of UCLA. Shout out. But yeah, so he stepped in after that for 3 years, and he's gotten progressively better every single year. According to PFF, obviously their metrics are a little limited, but I mean it's still a good metric to measure player evaluations. So if you look at his PFF grades, his first year, 2021, 62 grade, then a little bit better, 2 points higher next year, 64. And this last year was at 74. So he's making steps every single year to get better as our center. And, it's always a good thing when you draft a player, bring him in. Obviously, he was undrafted, but we brought him in as a rookie and we've developed him into what he is today. And, if you look at the best teams in the NFL, the 49ers, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the best organizations, that's how they win. Draft and develop players, and then you re-sign them, and then you win. You win with those players. It's not just through trades or free agency. It's your own guys, homegrown guys, and that's what Andre James is for us. So whenever you can do that, it's a good thing for your locker room too. Because look, the undrafted free agents last year and this year are going to look at Andre James and say, okay, if I work as hard as this guy did and show steps of improvement year after year and stack on improvement, I'm going to be rewarded by the team. And that's why this contract is a big deal for us. So that's one. And then two, bringing back Andre James not only shores up your center position, but it also shores up your left guard position. And the reason why, I know this sounds a little weird, Andre James as a center, if he were to walk, our replacement would not be some other center. It would be Dylan Parham. Because out of Memphis, when we drafted him, he was projected to be a center by a lot of experts out there, including Mel Kiper, and a lot of the NFL teams projected him to be a center at the next level. And so he would have been our replacement at center. He's had some snaps at center too when Honor James has been hurt. So I think he would have been our center. And then if he's our center, we have a whole left guard. And it would have been chaos in our oline if you're retooling a unit that has been okay. They've gotten better. They're really young, and so I don't see a reason why you would take that apart. Just keep building on it. They're not getting worse. They're only going to get better if you keep them together. So that's where it's good to have your left side of your O line is stable for the next 3 years. There's some continuity there, and they can keep building and progressing. With obviously Colton Miller, Dylan Parham, and Andre James, that side of your line is set. There's no need to touch that for the next few years, which is huge for us. So those are two things. The one thing I will say about Andre James is he's got to continue showing improvement. Because if you look at the best teams in the NFL, the Eagles had Jason Kelsey for so long, and they've consistently fielded one of the best O lines in the NFL. And you look at the Chiefs, they got manhandled in the Super Bowl against the Bucks that one year. And what did they do? They drafted Creed Humphrey immediately after, and he was the quarterback of their offensive line. So outside of left tackle who protects the blind side, the center is, they have all the protection schemes, the calls. They're the quarterback of your offensive line. So it's important to have a good center. And, I think our new regime, Telesco, thinks that Andre James can be that guy. but he's a young player still. I think he's only 26, 27. I don't know his exact age, but I'm guessing around there. So he's got to keep stacking and improving. He's got a few years left until he kind of sort of enters his like prime. Because Jason Kelsey, another example, he started really getting good when he was 30. He was average like Andre James up until he was 30. Then he started taking that all pro leap and he figured something out and he hit his prime. So center's prime's a little traditionally later. So Andre James still has time to develop into that all pro, type player. He's not there yet. He's, middle of the pack. I would consider him 16th, 15th best center in the NFL, but you can win with that. And, he's young and he has time to improve. And that's why I like this signing. And I think it's, the first big domino to fall. Our offensive line has been shored up, at least on that left side. So, we have to bring in an offensive guard. Greg Van Roten was serviceable last year, but he's not your long-term solution. And at right tackle, Illuminor, again, not your long-term solution there. So Thayer Munford too. I think he's a depth guy. We're going to see what he does, but I wouldn't feel comfortable with him going in as the right tackle of the future come next season. So we're going to have to add some guys on that right side, but at least for now, our left side and our center is intact. And great move by Telesco. And we're going to see Raider Nation. Free agency's just around the corner. It's in one day. It starts on the 11th. We can begin negotiating with players, and there's going to be some deals announced by Adam Schefter. So we're going to be giving you guys all that full coverage with that, and we're gonna break it down for you guys every signing that the Raiders make. But anyway, Raider Nation, we appreciate the love. Our recent few videos, they've done amazing. We appreciate the comments. Whether you enjoy or not enjoy the video, please dislike, like, whatever, comment, subscribe. We appreciate it all. We appreciate all the feedback. So thank you guys, Raider Nation, and we'll see you in a few days.